Hello, everybody, and welcome back to TBO. We're doing the Mandalorian Season 3, Episode 2, 1, and 3. And the rest is Boba Fett, I guess.
Yeah, because Book of Boba Fett sort of changed series halfway through.
Yeah, they kind of gave up and then went, oh shit, wait, no, we have to do some closure. We'll go back. So full spoilers ahead. And let's get into it. Dan, did you like the show?
I think it's a bad show with good parts.
Do you now love Boba Fett as your favorite bounty hunter / Mandalorian
No.
/ clone?
No.
Did the show endear you to him deeply by showing you his tragic Nope, not backstory.
I was going to say, there's no
backstory. Mini backstory about his time hanging out with desert people.
To be honest, it's quite a weird concept.
Yeah. So, famous bounty hunter Boba Fett, now crime lord Boba Fett.
No, it's famous bounty hunter Boba Fett turned to a Tuscan family, then crime lord.
Oh, yes. Because crime lord make more sense. Because Bib Fortuna suck.
Yeah, it's a weird one, you know?
Right, so first episode, we do get how he escaped from the Sarlacc.
Spoiler,
he punched a hole in
it,
set it on fire, and then climbed down.
Yeah, it is.
Also, he sucked the oxygen out of a stormtrooper.
Oh, yeah, he did do that, yeah.
Yeah. No one knows how that stormtrooper got there, but goddamn, that stormtrooper was in there for a long time and still had oxygen.
He somehow died, and he still had oxygen.
Also, I thought that the reason Boba Fett survived was because his armor took most of the hit of the acids, but the stormtrooper's outfit seemed to be in good condition. It was still shiny and white, but a bit goopy.
Basically, nothing really made sense in that scene, so we just swiftly move on.
Then we get the scene where the Jawas steal all his shit and don't strip him naked, which is what they should have done. They leave him in his little bodysuit.
Yeah.
I want to see full peen in my Star Wars movie / TV shows, because if Jawas are going to strip a man nude, they need to strip a man nude, not strip a man into his onesie pajama suit.
Yeah, did you care much about the backstory, really?
No. People got upset that they, in the first episode, because you kind of see some flashbacks to his childhood, they changed the scene where he picks up the helmet of his dead dad, because they took out a CGI monster.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, because George Lucas loved... Also, they changed the scene a bit, so there isn't as much debris and clones and just absolute nonsense going on in the background.
People get funny about things, but it's a memory, so technically memories can't always be correct, as I've learned from watching Legion.
Yes. How they tell their backstory, though, is fucking fantastic, where they slap him in a Bacta tank and then have him go, oh, I'm dreaming, I'm looking at flashback. And then every time that they want to do a flashback, they make him get the fucking shit beat out of him.
Which people did not like.
No, he does not much in this entire show. He just gets whacked on.
Yeah, also, I don't know about you, but I found the story quite confusing about most of this.
Yeah, I still don't know his real motivation until like episode 4. It's just like, oh yeah, he gets captured by the Tusken Raiders. They show him culture and I guess humility, even though they tied him up and left him in the sun, not giving him water, and they made him dig. And then he fought a Goro, and he won. I love him fighting a Goro.
Yeah, very strange.
And then he takes a lizard up his nose, and then he becomes stoned, and he goes on a trip and gets a tree.
Weird. That was really weird.
Grogu would have eaten the fuck out of that lizard.
Oh, I miss Grogu. Oh, Grogu, I love Grogu so much. He makes a show.
I was annoyed by him in this show. I don't know why.
Why? He's so cute. He just eats everything.
Yeah, he's cute, but he annoyed me because he shouldn't be in this show. He should be in another show.
I can't deny that.
Right. We'll jump a bit around because why the fuck not?
Well, yeah, because the first few episodes are a bit dull.
Boring. We basically get him walking around the town going, I'm the new boss, baby, give me your money.
Yeah, so he's trying to take over from Jabba the Hutt, and a lot of the locals don't like it.
Bib Fortuna, Jabba the Hutt was already taken over by.
Oh yeah,
the guy with the weird lizardy, bulgy neck thing.
Okay, yeah, so he's taken over Fortuna, but both of them still, they sort of pride themselves on the city, and then both want to be different. He wants to be on the ground level, but a lot of the town don't like that.
No.
For some reason.
Then we get
doesn't really make sense in my head.
Well, it's the hive of scum and villainy, Dan. And if you have a new scum and villainy come in who's good now, because he got beaten the shit out of by a lot of people in his past. Then he now comes and does favors for people who make him look like an absolute ass in combat.
Yeah, so a lot of people now are giving tributes to Boba Fett to show their appreciation, and then the mayor refuses to give a tribute.
No. He sends a guy asking for tribute.
Oh, yeah. I was like, what?
The most annoying character behind another character who makes their return in this show.
Did he remind you of Woody Harrelson?
No, not at all.
Really?
No.
Do you not think his
He
face
just pissed me off. I fucking hate the mayor's assistant. I really wanted that character to just be shot, but they don't shoot him. They never shoot him.
He is
Just
very
shoot
annoying.
him.
He has no backbone.
Yeah, but he just shoot the fucker. He's served his purpose. He's told you that the mayor's off-world, and then he's done. Fucking blast him in the face.
Yes, they should have killed him in episode 7, definitely. That would have been a good
No, they
death.
should have killed him in the first episode where he asks for tribute, and Boba Fett goes, "This is my tribute." Bang. Shoots him, and then gets the bot to drag him out there and go, "Look, you're going to respect me."
But to be honest, throughout the whole show, we still don't understand why Boba Fett is doing this.
I think it's revealed in the last of the flashback episodes where it's like, I was the working under these fuckers and it always ended badly. So now I'll be the fucker who is in control so it won't go badly. And look how that turned out. It went badly. So yes, motivation. But yeah, I didn't like the bar hostess lady. She annoyed me. I don't know why.
I
just
feel
don't
like
like
you're
these-
head tails.
No, because the ones in Mandalorian didn't bug me. The bad ones in the ship when Bill Burr was there or whoever the cunt.
To be fair, no, she didn't know me that much. She was just there,
She was just there, but she was just like, oh yeah, she got too much screen time. She should have. I'm glad she's dead. Fuck. I'm glad they blew up her fucking bar.
To be honest, I actually really enjoyed that moment. It caught me off guard.
But do you like the fact that everyone was like, oh my god, this blue alien elephant fucker's back? And then in the first episode, and then in the scene where they were about to blow up the bar, they specifically show a shot of the band so that they can show that the blue elephant guy isn't there, because that dude was on the ship of Jabba when they blew up that ship, and he managed to survive that. And so now he's the character who survives being exploded.
I have absolutely no idea who you're talking about.
Well, the internet knows, and the internet was very happy that they didn't blow up the blue alien guy with the elephant nose, who plays the drums or whatever the fuck it is.
Oh, I think I know who you're talking about now.
Yes. Oh, also, fun fact. The Star Wars universe's genre of music that is played in Star Wars is called jizz.
Okay, thank you for that.
That is generally true. That is a fact that you can Google. The Cantina music is called a genre under the genre of jizz. That is my fun fact for today on this episode.
Thank you
of Book
so
of
much.
Boba
Well, I
Fett,
think
the review.
I think we've covered episode 1. There isn't really much goes on.
Yeah, he fights a Goro.
Yeah, thanks for that. You already mentioned that.
Yeah.
And then, so the next one, they sort of, I think, is this different episode? They start showing the speeder bikes.
Yeah, I think that's episode 2. Hang on, let me just
Look.
scroll.
No, so episode 2, Fett in the backstory, he steals speeder bikes.
Oh, he meets the Jabba twins or whoever the fuck they
He
are.
does meet the Jabba twins. Was
Oh
that
yeah,
episode
do you like
3, isn't it?
the fact that he saved the little pig people?
Oh yeah, he did do that.
Yeah, I really fucking hate those creatures. They disgust me. Just walking around.
Why are you so
barefoot.
judgmental on everyone and what they look like in this show? Racist.
No, it's not racist.
You're racist towards these people.
Speciesist.
You're racist to green.
I found Jabba the Hutt's cousins or whatever it fucking banging though. Oh, look at all those. Just licking up that squirrel thing, sweating off. Oh,
Please,
that's
please,
beautiful.
Stop.
The one flicking her fan seductively. Oh,
No.
gets my
no,
rockers
no,
going.
No, please stop. Just stop.
Oh, this was the train heist one where we get the little fun meme of Boba Fett going like a raider or whatever, and then it's just like a bamfer, and then he's riding his little speeder, and he just shakes back and forth, and he's smiling like a little doofus. I like that moment.
I enjoyed
that.
the train heist.
I like the train heist.
It's a good bit of action.
I don't like any of the other stuff.
No, I agree.
I do like the fact that the people carrying the Jabba the Hutt twins or whatever the fuck it is are just struggling under the weight.
I like the flashback
Yeah.
where they he showed me.
Oh yeah, I like the suicidal robot that just jumps out the train when he's like, "Stop the train," and he's just like, "Nope, fuck it," boom, just jumps out.
He carries on living, and you just never see him again.
Yeah, That should have come back. That should have just come back, and should have been the big bad. That should have been the one behind the whole operation. I didn't give a shit about the Pike Syndicate.
No. I still don't know what Old Spice is, or what it was called.
Well, Dan, if you ever watch Dune, the bad product in Dune is also called Spice because Star Wars ripped off a lot of stuff from Dune.
Oh, really?
Yeah, George Lucas took a load of inspiration from a load of other stuff, like his Flash Gordon, Dune, Valerian, or whatever the fuck that is. All of these stuff that were around for ages before, like old classic cinema, George Lucas just remastered into this Star Wars universe. And so Spice, because Han Solo was a spice runner or whatever the fuck it is, and Poe was a spice dealer or whatever. So spice is a big thing.
Never heard of it. I don't know how I've watched old Star Wars and not heard of it until him. Don't know.
It's not really mentioned much because it's a drug and Disney don't want you to know about drugs. But yeah, I do like Tusken Raiders on speeders, but I do hate the speeder effect because it just looks like a green screen. It just looks
There's
bad.
a lot of moments in here that look like green screens. I'm struggling to talk already.
Don't call them green skins, Dan. Those are the pig people.
We also get to see how Boba Fett meets Fennec Shan, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, he walks up to her and gives her no, wait, that's not this episode. That's third episode.
I've lost track of which episode which. We're jumping around it.
Yeah. Episode 3 is when we get he walks up to Fennec Shand in a desert when she's been shot, and he goes, right, I'll drag her across on the slowest animal imaginable across a desert.
And she's still alive.
This woman is dying. And then we'll meet some people who have modifications and ride Vespers that can float.
I hate it. I really hate it.
It's not a terrible thing, but I wish they were more muted. They don't need to be bright. It stands out so much, and they just look so out of place. And then the effect isn't very good, so it's kind of also they have too many mirrors. Stop it.
Yeah,
I like the girl.
They just make no sense.
I like the guy with the weird eye. Everyone else just looks stupid as fuck. I'm sorry, I'm going to judge a lot of people based on their looks.
You're so judgmental. Honestly, cancel this man. He just judges everyone.
I like the moment where we see young Boba Fett touch a rainy window looking at his dad's ship go away. That's super deep backstory right there.
Wasn't that seen in Clone Wars? Not Clone Wars. Attack of the Clones.
Probably.
That's still not the right show, is it? It is Attack of the Clones.
That's the movie, yeah.
Yeah, that's the one, right? Isn't that seen in Attack of the Clones?
I don't fucking know.
Honestly,
you're the one who watched it more recently than I did.
Ever since
I watched it in 2019.
I think it was a TikTok of saying how all the Star Wars films are named wrong. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what they actually are anymore.
That's the only video I liked.
Yeah, I was like, what? They're right. He's right. They're all named wrong.
It makes more sense. Yeah. Yeah. We then get. Yeah. He basically just drags Fennec Shand across the desert. Oh no, wait. That's episode 4. We get that. Oh, even I'm misremembering. And I have it right up in front of me. Yeah. We basically get Boba Fett confronting the crime syndicate about. Yeah, look. Your train was bad and shot my Tusken friends. Can we not do that? And then they go and get his Tusken friends killed, but they blame it on other people, and then he goes and enacts revenge on them. And then we get a rude awakening of his flashback sequence by a bounty hunter who's a Chewbacca.
Oh,
they're called
yeah.
Wookiees.
Yeah, that guy.
Guy with brass knuckles that electrocute people. And then we don't see the Chewbacca Wookiee rip anyone's arms off. Which is what Wookiees are known for.
We just want to see violence.
Oh, and then he gets whooped his ass. Oh yeah, the twins offer a Rancor. That happened.
Oh, is that the massive beast thing, right?
Yeah, that happened in the last episode.
Is this another Star Wars
that happened
Easter
in
egg?
this episode. Yeah. No, the Rancor is the big beast that Luke fights in the Return of the Jedi, and when he gets put in the before he gets put in, he drops down in the grate, and then it's the big creature, and then they drop a gate on him, and he dies. And that's why they made the joke at the beginning where they tried to do the assassin, and it's like, we'll drop you in the Rancor pit, and let the Rancor deal with him. And then this assassin goes, oh yeah, I'll tell you everything, even though an assassin would probably know that the Rancor is dead, because Jabba the Hutt's dead, and his Rancor's probably dead. And then they went, yeah, the Rancor's dead, dumbass. Top comedy.
So good. Yeah, so good.
Oh yeah, and then the notorious Wookiee bounty hunter gets his ass whooped by some mod people who have little whip chains and daggers.
To be honest, I feel like this whole
And then Boba Fett gets dragged back into the Bacta tank.
I think this whole show is fan service. That's what it is.
But it's bad fan service.
It's not good, but it's definitely fan service of some kind, because there's so many different Easter eggs they're bringing in left, right, and center.
Yeah, but they're just done like Rise of Skywalker level, where it's just they're
It's
there
just thrown in for the sake of it.
for no real reason other than they're not really like. I guess they come back in the final episode, but yeah. I love the moment where he's like, I want to ride this Rancor, and now I get to be bonded with it for life. I'm gonna fuck this Rancor so hard. This Rancor's gonna yeah. Also, do you want to know a fun fact? The Rancor Keeper is a guy who's been in the director's movies before.
I did not know that.
He's also in Spy Kids, which is a movie that director directed. Yeah, and then we get the return of the mayor's assistant protecting the mayor, and it's like, oh, the mayor's gone off world, and then you get the shittest car chase in the world.
It is bad. It really isn't good, is it?
Where it's just slow moving speeders just being chased by a Vespa.
Is this still episode 3?
Yep, this is still episode 3.
Oh.
And then Boba Fett doesn't kill the guy. He just goes, oh yeah. And then it's like, we need reinforcements. And then it's like, huh, yep, we do. We suck. Oh, no, wait, that's the end of this episode. Episode 4.
Yeah, honestly, episode 3. I think episode 3 is...
Yeah, episode 4 is the one where you get Fennec Shand backstory. Yeah. Sorry, you were saying?
I think episode 3 is the worst episode out of all of them.
Oh, yeah, fuck, yeah. Definitely.
It was not good.
It's just shot weirdly and badly, and it just does nothing, and it's just like, oh yeah, we'll introduce these modded people, and we'll make them do a chase sequence that is slow as fuck and boring, and we'll have the most annoying character scream, and oh yeah, we'll just do that. But yeah, the episode 4 sort of picks back up. You're like, oh yeah, we get the like how Fennec Shand's little stomach thing worked.
That still creeps me out, because I've got a thing about androids that creep me out, or just cyborgs in general. So
we get a guy with yellow dreads.
Yes.
Sick look, yeah, boy.
Actually, while we're talking about this, so we just jump very quickly to the end cutscene.
Yes, he's working on Cobb Vamp.
Who is it? I was going to ask you that. Who's Cobb Vamp?
It's the sheriff.
Oh, is that who it is?
Yeah, the guy who got shot by the blue dude. His name I don't care about. Yeah, it took me a second look, but I realized the grey hair, and it was like, well, yeah, they're obviously going to bring that character back, but now they're going to give him a laser eye or something. Because why the fuck would they not?
Star Wars.
Anyway, we'll get to it. We're not there yet. We'll get to it. We're working our way through. But yeah, we get to see Boba Fett try and steal his ship back, which isn't, well, it's still called Slave 1, I think, but the type of ship is now called Fire Spray or whatever the fuck, which people got very angry about because Disney was like, we're changing the name. And then all the people who had Star Wars collectibles were like, oh, yes, my thing will be worth more now because it will be rare and it won't have any other things named after it, because Disney would just name it the Fire Spray.
To be fair, I do like Fennec Shand quite a bit in this series. I think.
Of course you do. She's
Agent May.
Yes, that's the name.
Yeah, I still don't know the actress's name. I'm so sorry.
Ming-Na Wen.
That's it. I was going to say something, but I know it'd be slightly off and it would sound racist, so I don't want to say it.
I hope that's right. Fucking hell, if I'm wrong. Anyway, yeah, they beat up a bunch of people. They run into a chef who has some spinny arms.
Oh, that's pretty cool. I enjoyed that moment.
They also chase a rabbit-like droid around, and I like that little droid. I hate the chase sequence, but I like it.
Yeah, the droid must be... Yeah, it's pretty funny.
I hate the fact that it's back at the end of the show.
Is it?
Yeah, it's in the where the Wookiee and the mods and Boba Fett are talking to each other, and it's just there for some fucking reason.
I didn't see that.
But yeah, he manages to get his ship back, which explains how he got his ship back in the Mandalorian season 2. Oh my god, it's all interconnected.
Yeah, then I think just Fennec Shand and Boba Fett started talking to each other about conquering Tatooine.
Well, it's like, well, I've done my debt to you. I'm gonna go fuck off, and then Boba Fett explains why he's doing it, and he's like, "Oh, that makes sense. I'm gonna help you because I'm now loyal because you saved my life." And then he runs into the Wookiee again, and the Wookiee fights people because he's annoyed that he lost to Boba Fett. Well, technically, he didn't lose to Boba Fett. He lost to some shitty mod people who had like a little whippy chain and a dagger, because that's how you take out a Wookiee. And they drop him in a pit.
Oh yeah, that's what happened. Yeah. I mean, at
Even
least
though
that is now the end of the flashbacks.
No.
Is it not?
Yes, the end of the it's the end of the flashbacks, but
Yeah.
we gotta have the last bit. I thought you were gonna say the end of the episode. No.
No,
We
end
get
of the flashbacks.
truce between all of the other people,
Yes, there's a truce, and at the end of the episode,
all the other clans. Yeah,
everyone agrees a truce, and who could have saw the ending happen like how it did?
they go. We need reinforcements. I might know somebody, and then the Mandalorian theme tune plays.
Yeah.
And then everyone was like, that's a teaser for season 3 of The Mandalorian. We won't be getting that next episode. We'll be getting more Boba Fett.
No,
we got fucking Mandalorian season 3.
Yeah, I thought I knew Mandalorian would be in the show. I had a strong hunch behind it. It's a very strong selling point, and everyone would love it because it's fan service. I didn't expect for him to be such a strong part of this show.
Yeah, to the point where they dedicate 3 episodes with him in it.
It's mental. So, yep, let's go on to episode 5. 5 and 6.
We gave up telling the Boba Fett story.
But if I'm honest, this is so much more interesting.
Yeah, so welcome to our Mandalorian season 3 episode 2. Okay, no, I'm not going to call it Mandalorian season 3. I'm going to call it Mandalorian season 2.5.
Ah, yes, thank you. Thank you for
Does that make-
clarifying that.
That's easier. Why does it have 2 skip recaps? That's stupid. Anyway, we get to meet the Mandalorian coming into town in a chiller, walking through, beats the shit out of some guy, basically goes, do you want to come in cold or warm? Or warm or cold? I don't remember the line.
Yeah, something like that.
A lot of people seem to love that line. I saw a meme where it's the Millhouse thing or Bart thing, and he's sitting in the classroom, and everyone's say the line, and it's that line, and I'm like, wait, that was an important line. When the fuck does he say? Oh yeah, he says it in the first episode. Cool. That's his catchphrase? Cool. I thought it was just Grogu. Anyway, yeah, he pulls out his darksaber
Yes,
and just
is
whips
this the
people.
first time we get to see him using it?
Yeah, and he sucks at it because he cuts himself.
Yes, but we do learn why he got himself.
Yes, we get some backstory on the darksaber later on. And
Yeah.
he's like, hey, look, I gave you my bounty, now tell me where the information that I want is. And then he gets his information because reasons. And then he goes finds the other 2 Mandalorians. The woman who builds weapons and the big guy with a jetpack who he went, I want that jetpack. And then he got a jetpack.
Yeah, and in the meantime, he's still limping and just doing his bounty hunter stuff to find, or Mandalorian stuff, to find the
Well,
secret
he's
lair.
lost because he doesn't have his little foundling. Oh, so sad. It's not like we'll see Grogu again until season 3 of The Mandalorian.
Oh, wait.
Oh, wait. We'll get to it. But yeah, we get some Mandalorian news updates, past updates about how the Darksaber is this warrior tribe thing and how it can only be won in battle, which we kind of already knew. Why, what's her face? The lady who really wanted the sword, Bo-Katan, Star Wars names.
Bo-Katan, yeah.
Really wanted it, but she lost it because she lost it in non-honorable. Well, she got it in non-honorable combat, and apparently that curses the planet of Mandalore to die.
Oh, yeah. So that's why it died, because she got it.
Yeah, and then apparently she lost it to Gideon, and Gideon was like, yeah, now I rule Mandalore because I won it in honorable combat, and then they bombed the shit out of it or something. I don't know. I wasn't paying much attention. I was like, where's my Mandalore? Where's my Boba Fett show? And then we learn that the Darksaber is heavy when you're fighting.
Yeah, so I think her name's Vizsla, is that right?
I don't know. I just
Yeah,
call her I just call her the blacksmith lady.
her name is Pat Vizsla.
She can pat
Or
my
Vizsla.
Vizsla.
Pat Vizsla. Yeah, so Vizsla states that you have to work with the blade, not against it, and that the Mandalorian, Din Djarin, he always keeps working against it.
Yes.
And then that never really comes back into any of the show.
Also, they're like, your spear that you have, we don't want you to have that because it can pierce Beskar.
Yes, Beskar's meant for armor, not weapons.
Yes. So they're like, we'll melt it down. Would you like us to melt it down into anything? And he's like, yes, I want a little gift for my little friend Grogu that I won't see till Mandalorian season 3. And then she's like, yeah, sure, cool, whatever, I'll do that. I like you. You're my favorite. And then big boy with a jetpack comes in and goes, I have right to that Darksaber, and I want honorable combat. And then he basically whoops the Mandalorian's ass because he's bigger, but the Mandalorian gets a little one up and then goes, hey, look, suck shit.
Yes,
And then
but Pat Vizsla goes around saying, have you ever moved your helmet?
And then Big Boy goes, no. And then Mandalorian goes, yeah, twice. Once was unnecessary because of plot demands, but the other one was meant to be emotional, but because we already fucked it up the first time, it wasn't that emotional. Oh, wait, no. Yeah, I did. And then they're like, well, you're out of our creed. Fuck off. And he's like, oh, fuck, shit. Why did I do that? Why did I do the first one? I could have only had to do it once, and then I could have said, technically, yes.
Well, technically he didn't remove it, but I suppose, actually, no. If
He
this
can't
ever
show.
gets-
Technically, that's what I was thinking, because it's like, have you ever removed your helmet? He removed it in the second episode of The Mandalorian because he puts it down to the side when he's looking out at all the children on that planet with the lady that loved him, and then he was like, I can't love you because I can't take off my helmet.
Yeah, I reckon one day he's gonna just not. He's gonna keep his helmet off.
I wonder if we'll ever see that woman again, because now he's not part of it. He could go back. And him and Grogu could just sit there, relaxing all cool, shooting some bebop outside of a school.
Well, it's quite an interesting concept about him not being able to take off his helmet, because I think he is actually allowed to do it. It's just that Creed can't do it.
He's allowed to take it off. He's just not allowed to show people his face.
Well, I think it's just that Creed. All other Creeds you can.
No. They're just not allowed to show people their faces.
Because like Bo-Katan, she's a Mandalorian, but she shows her face.
Yeah, but it's a Creed. But he was allowed to take it off. He's just not allowed to show other people his face.
Yeah, but
That's the rule.
Yeah, I know
that's the rule of the man.
But my point is,
that's their rule.
Other Creeds.
Yeah. Other people don't do it.
Yeah.
But that's their Cree, and that's their Mandalorian code. So he's allowed to take it off.
It almost
he's not
seems
allowed
like
to
he's
show
in a
people.
cult.
Well, yeah, the Mandalorians took him at birth. It's kind of culty. Yeah, everything's a cult, Dan. Everything in Star Wars is a cult.
Yeah, Jedi's a cult.
They follow the religion. Jedi are a fucking cult. They take children and then they indoctrinate them into the ways of the Force.
I mean, so you're
This
not
made-up-
you're not allowed to feel emotions.
Yeah. Oh, but did you see Boba Fett feeling emotions? Whoa. Luckily, he's not a Jedi, so he can actually enact on them. But then he chooses not to.
Anyway,
Anyway,
we'll talk about season 3 theories at the end.
yeah. So basically, after that, he goes to a spaceship and goes, "Hey, look, I'm gonna fly back to because I have a ship that I need to get." And then it's like, "Oh yeah, put all your shit in a box."
Yeah,
And then that doesn't do anything. We just have this scene where he puts all his shit in a box and no one steals anything. No one takes the dark
that
saber.
whole scene was so pointless.
Yeah, like I was thinking, oh, if he puts all his shit in a box, someone's gonna steal it, and then we're gonna have that's the reason why he contacts Boba Fett because he has tracking abilities or something, and then he's gonna need someone to help him find his shit.
Nope. Oh, he just
No, it's just still there. He just sits on a little plane and he waves to a little girl or whatever whilst on the plane, and then we get the most annoying character return.
which one?
The lady with the frizzy hair and the
Yes.
person who works at the spaceport.
I don't mind
know
her.
that
She's
character's.
alright.
I hate her so much. She just pisses me off.
She's fine.
She gets too much screen time. In small doses, yes. But she's just annoying, and she doesn't need to be in the show.
Yeah. Anyway, so he goes over there.
Did you like the return of that droid from the Star Wars game that you played?
Oh yeah, what's it called? I forgot what it's called. I know what the one in Jedi Order was called. BB-8. That's not right.
No,
is it?
BB-8 is the bull droid
I just
from
realized
Star
that.
Wars.
Oh
Dan.
god, I got it wrong.
Dan, you're going to annoy so many Star Wars fans with your
I
lack
forgot
of
what it's
knowledge
called.
of
I don't
Star
remember what
Wars.
it's called.
I never played the game. I was just like, oh, that I didn't even realize it was from the game when I watched it because I was just.
I don't remember.
Well, Dan, the ship that the lady promised the Mandalorian turns out to not be the ship that he wanted because he wanted a Razor Crest again, but she got him a Naboo starfighter, the worst bounty hunter ship because it's only got one seat. So
Yeah.
how is he meant to transport
it-
any fucking cargo?
Well, I think that's the thing. Maybe he doesn't want to be a bounty hunter anymore.
No, but he wanted a Razor Crest.
BD-1. That's it. BD-1. It's a BD droid.
Wow, cool, sick, nice. Damn, son.
That's not got confused because it's BB-8, BD. Yeah. I love the BD droids. It's so cute.
Yes. But yeah, so he got a Naboo starfighter, which maybe is some because it's all what's her name? Amidala,
Yeah, Queen
Anakin's
Amidala.
girlfriend. Yeah, Queen Amidala. So that's her Space Force ships, and it's all pre-Empire, so it doesn't have tracking codes or whatever, or regulation codes or whatever, something Star Wars bullshit.
But yet it's super
so
fast.
we get and then we get a building montage like we did in the first episode of The Mandalorian, where they built the Razor Crest because it kept being broken,
Yeah.
and then the little BD droid does the thing that it does in the game where it projects a hologram to show you how to do stuff. Apparently, that's a thing. I don't know.
Do I remember
Apparently,
that?
that happens.
I don't remember
know. Anyway, then he goes into space and flies around, and it's got a little dome on it that looks stupid because it was meant for an. But now it's for. As soon as I saw that dome, I was like, "That's for fucking Grogu, isn't it?" That's 100% for the little Grogu boy.
I love Grogu. He's so cute.
Yeah, but he doesn't need to be in the show. Luckily, he isn't. Oh wait. Anyway, we'll get to it. Anyway, yeah, and then he basically flies off into space, does a fly around a ship, and then some stuff. TIE fighter things come up.
Fair,
not TIE fighters.
X-wings. A lot of that
People
flying the
pissed
ship
at me
scene
for
was
that.
pretty cool.
Yeah, I like it. I like all of this episode.
Yeah.
But it's not a fucking Book of Boba Fett episode. That's my issue. If this was The Mandalorian, the first episode of The Mandalorian, fucking sick. That would have been great. I would have loved it. But it's not. It's midway through a Boba Fett show. But yeah, then he gets stopped by the guy who plays Mark Hamill in The Mandalorian Season 2, who's Luke Skywalker, Dan.
Yes, thank you.
Because one of the people in the X-Wings is the guy who plays the body double that they stitch the face onto.
Oh,
and then they're like, yeah, it's the one on the right. It's not the other guy who's been in The Mandalorian Season 2 who's like, that's your coat seems familiar. I might have had a run-in with you before, and I'm a nice guy who left you on a planet to die because your ship crashed and you had a transport of a frog lady with eggs. And you were just like, well, we can't save you. We can't help you, but we killed the big spider thing that was chasing you. So good luck. Bye. We'll leave you to die. You have a pregnant frog lady or frog lady with eggs or something. Anyway, yeah, then Fennec Shan turns up after he's done his little fight and he just speeds off. And then it's just like, hey, look, I got a job for you. I'll do it for free. Because I like Boba Fett. He's a Star Wars mainline character. If I charged him money, that would make my character seem like a douche.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's the end of the episode. Wonderful. I'm glad we did that episode of Mandalorian Season 2.
It's just not Boba Fett, is it?
I'm so glad we did that episode of Mandalorian Season 2.5. Hopefully we'll go back to Boba Fett in the next... Oh, wait, no, we're now... We're still with... Oh, no, we're not with that. We're going on to Cobb Vanth, the guy from The Mandalorian Season 2, who was that sheriff that everyone liked.
Do you know what, right? I kind of understood.
Had Boba Fett's armor.
I would have forgiven one episode, because there's 7 episodes of Book of Boba Fett, which is kind of an odd number as it is, right?
Yeah.
I was only expecting
Most
6
arrive
episodes.
at 8, 9, or 6.
Yeah, so if it was 7, I was like, okay, yeah, it's 6 episodes of Boba Fett, 1 episode of The Mandalorian to hype up Season 3, whatever. No, it's just... They stopped.
Carries on. Yeah, so we get Cobby Vanth stopping
Vanth.
some spice trade. I know, but I wanted to call him Cobby.
Oh, fair enough.
I reckon he shortens it. I reckon he's embarrassed by his full name, Cobby Vanth, but he just shortens it to Cobb Vanth because that makes him sound cooler. Anyway, the marshal turns up and he's like, I'm going to stop your spice trade shit because this is my town and my town is all cool and shit and I hate you guys, stop it. And that's basically his introduction again, so we know he's still alive, kicking. And then he kicks over a box of spice because he's like, this is worth more than your town. And then he's like, cool, maybe I'll retire. And then he kicks it over. Dude should have fucking retired, because what happens to him later on, whew. Anyway, we get back to Mandalorian and he flies to the planet that Grogu's on and he's like, oh, I came here to talk to Grogu and give him a gift. And then R2's like, come with me. And we see some ant creatures building the first temple on the island planet thing.
Yes, I was gonna, is this like The Last Jedi Flash?
Yes, this is he smashes a hut and tries to kill Ben and then Ben crushes the hut on him.
Right.
I thought it was, and then I think this is the planet. I think we're finally seeing the planet. I still don't think it has a name, but I think we're finally seeing the planet that Luke sets up his school on. And then some contradictions maybe happen in this episode because it's like, I want you, Grogu, to be my first student. And then it's like, but we learned that his first student was Leia. And then it's like,
yeah.
oh, but also his first student was
However,
Ben Solo. But then
let's just get corrected.
we'll find it does get corrected in the next episode. But why? Why does it get corrected in the Book of Boba Fett episode? Anyway, he turns up. They're building a shit. They build him a little bench. I thought that was quite nice because they're going to be waiting a while.
He just goes to sleep. He's like, forget this.
Oh, fucking hell. They could be like years away. I don't know how big this planet is. I don't know how long it takes for the cell service of this stupid R2 droid to pick up on his cell phone.
Oh yeah,
Anyway.
the R2 droid just kind of shuts off, doesn't it? And he's just there like, well,
that's just a thing he does. I thought that was the moment that he turns off because he's like, I don't know. I thought that was the because he isn't awake in Force Awakens, and I thought, oh yeah, well that's the moment he turned off because he just died or something. Anyway, no, he's not dead. Then we get the scene of Grogu and de-aged Luke Skywalker. Looking a lot better this time.
Still looks better. Hair's still bad.
Still looks shit though, because the hair, it is the hair. It's always the hair. Because they don't let the hair move because they have to keep the face still, which means they have to keep the hair still, which means that the face can't and the hair doesn't work. And so when he's running, it doesn't flap about. It just sits still on his head. So it's just like, But yeah, we get Grogu and Luke training, and we don't get to see Luke talk much because they realized, oh shit, whenever he talks, he looks fucking shit. He looks decent when he's not talking, but when he tries to talk, he looks shit as fuck because his mouth doesn't work properly.
Yeah, and
it's like Henry Cavill in Superman.
And this is still a Book of Boba Fett episode.
Yep. We get Grogu playing with a frog, trying to eat it.
I loved it. I love that scene so much.
And then Luke's like, "Look, bitch, this is what you could do with the power of the Force."
And he's like, "Oh my god!"
So many frogs, and Yoda jizzes himself. Like, oh my fucking god, I can have so many frogs. And then it's like, I'm going to take you for a little walk, and then I'm going to force lift you. I like that.
Oh yeah, he just kept kind of like lifting up and down because it took too long to move.
Because he's walking so fucking slow, man.
Like,
and Luke's impatient. And what Luke could have done is be nice and not force him to do something he didn't want to do, and just let him walk, stop a bit. Let him walk, stop a bit.
Actually, I would have appreciated
I'm just gonna
if Grogu was on his shoulders. Because then that's a callback to...
We do get that.
Yeah, we do get that. That's like a callback to...
We do get that.
What's it called?
Yeah.
Last Jedi? No, that's not right.
Nope. Empire Strikes Back, Dan.
That's the one.
Yeah. I was going to let you suffer for a little bit longer, but I thought our Star Wars audience would be pissed at us.
I told you, that
anyway.
TikTok is ruined. I don't know. I can't remember now.
Anyway, we get a flashback to Grogu's past where we get to see him being saved by some Jedi. And everyone's like, who was the one who saved him? And everyone's like, oh my god, it was Obi-Wan. But no, Obi-Wan was going to the archives to find out that Anakin killed a bunch of young
I reckon it was Mace Windu.
No, Mace Windu got thrown out a window.
But you don't know he's dead.
No, he got thrown out a window, Dan.
You don't know he's dead.
Samuel L. Jackson has said he's still alive in his world. So.
I reckon it's Mace Windu. I reckon he's going to come back out and then he'll be like, oh, that's Mace Windu. He's still alive somehow.
Mace Windu got thrown out a window. Anyway, yeah, so we get to see some little backstory and we see a load of Jedi dying and Grogu's traumatized and he's like, oh shit, dude, that sucks, man. My dad did that to you. My dad was the cause of all of this. My dad helped do this. So, yeah. Sucks to be you, man. I'm gonna kind of pretend that I don't know who that was and help you out, man. I'm a good dude. Anyway, the Mandalorian wakes up from his little nap, and then we get Ahsoka again.
Yeah, that's, do you like her? Her tails. Yeah,
she's fine. I know there's a lot of fan art of this character that people really do like this character, and I'm like, huh, okay.
You better not say anything bad about this one.
Yeah, well, it's fine. And she's just like, hey, look, he's trying to train, dude. Fuck off. He doesn't need you anymore. Yeah. He's got to become a Jedi.
Although he doesn't become a Jedi. Well, we'll
find out. There's a choice. But yeah, she's like, look, he's got attachments, you've got attachments, but you both need to go away from each other because you both need to do other stuff. And then she's like, look, I'll give him your gift, you fucker. Go fuck off. And then he fucks off. and then Luke's just running around carrying Grogu. Again, all of this is the Mandalorian, not the Mandalorian. This is the Book of Boba Fett. So all of this, Boba Fett's interacted with Luke before and got his ass whooped because he cut his lightsaber and he burned his jetpack and he fucking fell into a Sarlacc pit. So
yeah,
who knows? Maybe Boba Fett wouldn't be super happy with Luke and the Mandalorian if they knew that they knew each other.
But then it actually does cut back to Boba Fett. It doesn't.
No, it doesn't yet. No, it doesn't yet. No, shh. No, we still got more Luke and Yoda.
Do we?
Or Baby Yoda. Yeah, he's got all the fighting. He's got the flips. The baby Yoda's doing flips. Grogu's doing flips.
Oh yeah, yeah. And he's like got
Yeah,
the
we get the weird Luke running through a forest scene like we did with Rey in the Rise of Skywalker.
We also have the orb, right? The orb that shoots.
Yep, the combat droid, and then it shoots at Yoda, baby Grogu, and it fucking knocks him back a bit. And he's like, "Whoa!"
Like, what's that? You gonna kill me?
And, yeah, that's how Jedi train people. They shoot kids. And then we just see Grogu doing some sweet ass backflips and flips and tricks and shit. And then it's like, oh my god, he's becoming Yoda from the prequel trilogy where he's just flipping about like crazy. A thing everyone loved in the prequels, right? Yoda, this wise old crazy kook. I enjoyed it. I loved it. I was like, oh, sick, this little green dude actually does stuff.
Yeah, it's not like, he's kind of just boring, just talks.
Yeah, and then the moment that everyone in the Star Wars community was jizzing themselves over, Ahsoka and Luke actually talk to each other.
You're like, oh my god!
Oh my god, the student who was trained under Anakin is meeting the son of Anakin. Ah! Even though they seem to know each other, so they've probably met before and had hundreds of conversations and probably have each other on speed dial.
Yeah, that's definitely it.
Luke's probably sending her a dick pic because he's a weirdo.
Did you have to go there?
This is a dude who's fucking wanted to fuck his sister. This is a dude who is the scum of the earth.
They definitely did that, by the way. 100%.
Oh yeah, they 100% fucked. They might not have shown it on film, but they're 100% fucked. And then they're kind of like, oh fuck, shit, why do we have to pretend we didn't fuck? And then there's all this sexual tension, and then it's Anyway, finally cut back to Boba Fett.
Yeah. For about
he doesn't
30 seconds.
Fennec Shand gets more screen time in this than he does. And it's like, hey, look, we need to do some shit because these Pike Syndicate people that we barely know and barely care about are trying to start a war with us. And we're going to need some reinforcements. And the Mandalorian's like, I'll deal with this. Boba Fett, you don't need to come. I'll just deal with this on my own. And then he flies off to Cop Vanth, and he's like, Cop Vanth, you owe me a favor, you cunt. Hey, by the way, meet my new marshal. This guy, Cop Vanth's like, meet my new marshal.
Yeah, as soon as I saw him, I was like, yeah, he's dead.
He's a douchebag. He's gonna die. He's gonna get shot in the face by some random dude who, if you haven't watched any of the Clone Wars, you won't know who the fuck he is.
I had no idea who he was.
Yeah. And then Boba Mandalorian fucks off and flies away, and then 2 seconds later, this guy who's walking through the desert comes up, and he's blue, and he's got a cowboy hat, and he's got really long arms, which freaks me out, because his arms go down to, like, his fucking ankles, and I'm like, what the fuck's wrong? And I'm just like, oh. And then he's like, look, the area is owned by the Pike Syndicate. Stop fucking around, dude, or I'll have to shoot you. And then the deputy's like, no, I'll shoot you. And then he just gets shot multiple times. And that's that character. I love that character.
Yeah.
I love Deputy Douchebag.
Yeah, he's dead. He's dead, Jim.
Yeah. And Cobb Vamp's like, oh shit. And he gets shot first, and then only one shot. The dude only shoots him once because he knows he's important. And then he goes, I'm just going to shoot this other guy fucking bunch because he's not important. He had one scene. He had one character introduction moment. He's, like, he's not important.
Let's get rid of him.
And then the Pike Syndicate blows up that weird bar place.
Yeah, which I enjoyed.
And then Luke's like, hey, Grogu, your bestie friend, mate, came around and was really stalkerish and really wanted to like meet you again. And I'm your new boo, so you love me, right? I'm gonna offer you this green dead dude's lightsaber that you have no knowledge of except you're a green alien who looks like him. I'm gonna give you this lightsaber, or you can have this chainmail armor that your best friend X gave you. You gotta pick, because you can't become a Jedi Mandalorian. Like the Jedi Mandalorian that was mentioned in the last episode.
Yeah.
You know, that guy.
No. And then ends.
Who owns the Darksaber, and your friend has the Darksaber, and if you beat the shit out of your friend, you'd own the Darksaber, and you could become both the Mandalorian Jedi. Shocking. And then it's the end.
Yeah. Still not Book of Boba Fett episode.
Yeah. So you'd think in the final episode you get the end of the Book of Boba Fett. And you'd be right, we finally do.
Yeah. But we also kind of get the end of the Mandalorian season 3.
Yeah. 2.5.
2.5. Mandalorian 2.5.
Yeah, so it turns out that, hey, look, Mando's like, hey, my friend who I just saw like 2 seconds ago, he's fine, by the way. I left him on good terms. He's alive.
Definitely, yeah. Sure.
He's got backup. He's gonna help us. And then it's like, oh yeah, Boba Fett's like, well, time to go kick some shit up. And it's like, because they blew up the bar, and he's like, well, I'm gonna go back to my castle because that's cool. And then the little mod people are like, you're a coward, you little fuckboy. Why are you running back to your castle? Come and stay in this shithole blown up bar. Let's do our fight here. This bar that no one gives a shit about. And then we find out that the Pike Syndicate's working with the mayor. He didn't go away off-world.
No,
Who
what
would
a
have thunk it?
shocker.
Yeah. And then the guy who was blue and had a cowboy hat, Cad Bane, I think his name is, who apparently has a history with Boba Fett. Would have been nice to see that in the flashbacks, you know.
Yeah,
So
instead
we
of
actually
showing things
cared.
you've already seen before.
Yeah. Maybe introduce the character that you're going to kill in this episode.
Yeah, how much better would that have been? Like, seriously.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, yeah, it makes more sense. And then we get, him talking about, I know how to deal with Boba Fett. I've had a past with him that, unless you've watched a specific TV show that the director of, like, some of these episodes directed and worked on, you'll know all about it. Yeah, no, dude, stop it.
It's so
I get it.
stupid.
I get it, but you gotta kind of guide the people who don't watch everything Star Wars, and they're like, who the fuck are you? Why do you have beef with Boba Fett?
I really hate how they integrate things so much in the shows. I like little things going here and there, right? But this is too much. Even putting the Mandalorian and Grogu in it, way too much. Putting Cad Bane in it, way too much, because there's no backstory.
Well, I'm fine with it, but just introduce him as a threat beforehand.
Yeah, you have to do
have, like,
something.
hints to him. Have hints towards the character. Like, show at the end of the first episode, like, the cowboy hat or something. And then people go, oh. And then everyone goes, oh. And then you learn about that character if you fucking follow the internet or anything. And your friend who watched the show can go, oh, that's Cad Bane. He and Boba Fett have this backstory that's rich and deep and actually character-driven. And they hate each other because Boba Fett used to work under him or something. I can't remember. I don't know the actual plot. I watched like 2 seconds. Yeah, sounds like something that they would do. Anyway, but yeah, then we get autopilot X-wing, and then out of all the starports that Yoda,
I'm not gonna say
R2D2 could have picked, he picked the one with the fucking woman who's annoying as shit.
You love her.
And then she's like, no, I really don't. And then she's like, oh, hey, Grogu, why the fuck are you here? And it's like, I'm not going to call the Mandalorian on speed dial. I'm just going to have you sit here and eat some lunch. And then, we get Boba Fett and Fennec and Mandalorian, and that's about it, just sitting in a broken out, burnout building.
For the record, I noticed the chamber armor straight away. I don't know if you did.
Same.
Yeah.
She pointed it out as well.
Yeah.
It's like, in case you weren't sure that you saw it, it's like, oh, yeah, you're wearing the fucking chainmail. Why are you wearing chainmail, you little weirdo?
See, I was sort of hoping that he would have picked the lightsaber, but then because he picked the lightsaber, Luke would have still given him the chainmail.
No, what I would have thought would have been funny is if you picked the lightsaber and then you went to the Mandalorian and dropped it on his fucking porch and just walked away like, fuck you, bitch, I'm out. I'm gonna become a lame-ass Jedi. Anyway, we get the weekly rounds of the shopping district of the mods just going around on their shitty little mopeds, just checking out all the people, going, hey, look, the city is bad. We're going to talk to our friends. And then we get the epic, like, standoff between Boba Fett and this character who was introduced to us last episode.
The character we have
who apparently have a backstory together.
The character we have absolutely no idea who this character is or what they're doing here.
All we know is he can shoot one normal guy and another guy real quick.
To be honest, I was so confused at the end of the last episode. I was like, I didn't know he was a bounty hunter.
Oh, yeah. I assumed he was a bounty hunter. I think I have seen that character before in, like, an image, but I was like, oh. Also, apparently he's a lot bluer in the show. He's not a turquoise, he's like a dark blue. So people were upset that they whitewashed him. Anyway. They're like, oh, Boba Fett, you and this guy have a past. And he's like, you remember your family, the Tusken Raiders? Well, it turns out that the Pike Syndicate was the one who killed them, so you're now going to get emotional and try and shoot me. But Fennec Shan's like, dude, calm your emotions. You got to be reasonable.
And he's like,
you got to use the
"All
Jedi
right,
training. Yeah, cool. Okay,
And
yeah,
I'm
you
gonna
you
say-
talk. Everyone tells him what to do, and he's just like, oh, that makes way more sense.
This guy,
I'm
how is this
stupid.
guy trying to rule a country? Not a city.
Everyone tells him what to do, and he's just like, fuck, that makes more sense than what I'm trying to do. Like, the mods tell him not to go to his castle and stay in the shitty little burnt out hut, and he's like, yeah, that makes sense. Fennec's like, oh, we need a fucking army. Yeah, that makes sense. Let's do that. Everyone's just telling him what to do. He makes no decisions in this show.
I feel like the
and
book
then-
of Boba Fett would still work if Boba Fett wasn't there.
Yeah, if it was just Fennec just doing life.
Yeah.
She's having the time of her life. She's just like, yep. Yeah, and then we got him like going, well, that was a standoff of sorts. I'm going to do it on my own terms when I shoot that fucker. When I'm not aimed at by a bunch of other people, even though I'm wearing basically indestructible armor. Hey, and I've got way more weapons than this dude who's only got a 6-shooter.
Honestly, I would never understand this armor, right? It only covers about half the body, but then they still never get shot.
Because everyone's shit at shooting, Dan. Remember we'll get to it, actually. So basically, the Pike Syndicate attacks everyone who Boba Fett thought, hey, they're not going to attack them because we've got a peace treaty, right? And then all the people on the peace treaty sides attack Boba Fett's team, even though how the fuck do they know who all of Boba Fett's people are? They didn't even know what's-his-face, the Wookiee guy, was working for him because he only literally hired him like the day after. I didn't even realize they hired the Wookiee guy. Anyway, yeah, and then we get to see a bunch of people who we don't really care about getting shot at and dying, and then the Wookiee guy gets covered, and Fennec's like, oh, I gotta go help kill the Pike Syndicate on my own. And they're like, yeah, do that. You can kill the Pike Syndicate on
You
your
do
own.
everything.
Yeah,
We'll
you're
just sit
better
back
than
and
us.
watch you.
And then the pig people die.
Yeah, so sad.
They get pushed off a cliff. And
What,
they don't do a well.
Well, that's
Yeah.
that's such a terrible death, by the way. That's so bad.
Yeah, they kind of get poked out by a bunch of sticks and then just fall off a
Yeah, it's
cliff.
like, what?
It was brilliant. I was like, yes, kill those pig people.
Why are you so racist towards the pig people?
Dan, a pig person raped my mum.
Doesn't mean they're all the same.
No. But yeah, then Mod Girl was like, hey, look, we're pinned down, help us. And then Fennec turns up and shoots a bunch of people who they could have been shooting, but she told them to put their heads down, even though they were nowhere in the direct line of fire. So, hey, look, she just wanted the credit.
Basically, yeah. She's an
Yeah.
attention hogger. And then we basically don't see it again until the end of the episode.
Yeah. It's like, I'm going to get on this shitty little moped and drive off again.
So, bye. See you
Hey,
later.
that speeder wasn't there, by the way. When they were doing the standoff, that speeder wasn't there.
Ah, yes.
And then it's just there when they walk off, and I'm like,
Oh, you see. Logic.
Yeah. And then they send out the mayor's assistant because he's like, hey, look, I'm gonna tell you what you could do. You could, surrender and agree to their terms. And Boba Fett's like, yeah, sure. I'll write a bunch of shit down on a tablet and you can read it to them. And then they're like, right, you go out and you do it. And then he tells them, oh, shit, no, Boba Fett lied to me and didn't do what I asked him. That's the first time he's not done what someone's told him to do.
I know, I can't believe it. He's actually got a backbone.
Yeah. And so, yeah, he reads it out and the Pike Syndicate's like, what the fuck? Why the hell are you here? And then he reads out his terms and conditions and it's like, you can fuck off. I want this planet. Leave or things will go bad. And then, they're like, okay, we're gonna shoot the guy, and then I was like, yes, kill it. And then they come out and save him. I'm like, why? No, wait a
It's the
second.
meme going,
Let them fire off a few rounds into it.
Yes, shit, no, fuck.
Yeah, they jetpack up and start shooting people, and then we get a fight sequence where there's like a bunch of bullets, and you can barely see who's shooting who because it's just cut back to the person who's watched them fling their arms about. And then you cut to someone on a roof shooting down, and you don't see who they're shooting at. And then it's like, oh, yeah, cool. I love these action sequences.
So I've had a look at the director, right? The same person directed episode 1, episode 3, and episode 7. Ironically, the 3 worst episodes.
Yes.
Funny that.
But they directed the Boba Fett episode in The Mandalorian. So you'd think he would be good.
What else?
But also, that guy did direct Spy Kids. Oh, also, I'm pretty sure, if I look at it correctly, he's the person who did Alita Battle
He is,
Angel. Yeah.
There you go.
That's what. Yeah, he did Alita Battle Angel, and you know our thoughts on that if you watched our commentary. But yeah, and then they basically bring in after. Oh, also, they're shooting at the Wookiee, and the Wookiee's like running and limping, and his legs bent and whatnot. And then he's just fine in the next scene.
He's like, oh, yeah, I'm
His
fine
leg's
now.
no longer broken. He's like, oh yeah, fuck. And then Boba's like, I'll give you a back-to-tank bath. We'll go in there together. We'll cuddle up and snuggle, because it's going to be like a nice romantic moment. Because, yeah. And then everyone's like pinned down, and then it's like, no, everyone's going to die. And then Freetown comes and saves them.
Yay, who could have saw that come in?
Because the bartender's like, they shot Cobb Vanth and a deputy. We gotta go and help the Mandalorian. Somehow we know where he is in the exact town place, even though this is quite big and we barely ever come
It's like
here.
a massive city. No, we know where he is.
We'll just go towards the gunfire, because that's always a good idea. And then they send in bigger versions of battle droids.
Yeah, they're pretty big, you know.
Yeah, big boys. Big things that barely shoot.
Yeah,
They just put up their shields and then barely
have
shoot.
worse accuracy than stormtroopers. I don't think they killed anything.
No, I don't think they do.
They didn't shoot anything. They just shot
They
walls.
beat up the Mandalorian a lot again.
Yeah, we always get
But
beaten
yeah,
up.
they're like, everyone's so stupid when they like, oh, he's got shields up. Let's shoot it with our guns that don't do anything, and we'll continue shooting at it with our guns. And then the Mandalorian's like, oh yeah, I'll fire it, and then he flamethrowers it, and
He's
it's
like,
like,
well,
oh yeah,
it's
cool.
gonna work.
That didn't work.
Darksaber.
And then he starts, Darksaber starts hitting it with that, and that doesn't work. I can't remember if that doesn't work. Yeah, I think lightsabers don't work. So
Yeah, nothing works.
That's
against it. It's
reason.
like, well, what do we do?
Except Dan, big rancors.
I forgot about this thing.
Yeah, I forgot that. I was like, oh, we never got to see him ride it. And then Boba Fett's like, can you distract these things to the Mandalorian? He's like, I can distract one because the other one's already fucked off that way to go shoot everyone. So sure, I'll do that. You could go and help them and do that and whatnot. I thought he was going to get a ship. I thought he was going to get the seismic charges from a ship.
I didn't know
and
what he
just
was going to
drop
do.
I thought he was going to go get a ship. Because I was like, maybe he's just going to fly his ship into them.
But yeah, we saw it, didn't we? The Rancor.
Yeah.
I was like, this is
and
pretty cool.
But yeah, the Mandalorian runs into the woman who has Grogu again, and it's like they're on a rickshaw or whatever the fucking chariot things are, and the stupid little robots running around on its little wheels. And she's like, Mando, how you doing? And then he's like, turn around, go. She's
Don't
like,
be
nah,
it, you
that's
idiot.
fine. I don't want to do. And then it just sees a fucking thing come around the corner and like, right, okay. And then yeah, it's like, okay, cool. Hey, I found your friend. And he's like, what the fuck? And then Grogu jumps in his arms, and it's like, damn,
That was
dude.
a cute moment, though. I enjoyed it.
Throw it at him. Throw it at the fucking big scary alien.
a
You've
magic
got powers,
alien.
do something.
Yes.
Yeah, you've got powers, you do it.
Yeet.
But yeah, then all the townspeople and the modders who don't like each other because they're out of towners and they're moddy people. We don't agree with each other, but we have to fight together because that's the power of friendship.
Oh, honestly, that's such a bad cliche.
But yeah, they're like, we can shoot things from a distance because we're farm folk and we get shooting practice every day. And they're like, well, I'll just distract the robot because that's all I can do.
Yeah, and to be honest, it's all pointless anyway. To be honest, that whole scene was so pointless because the exact same thing would happen regardless.
Yeah, and then Boba Fett just brings the Rancor, and the Rancor is like, boom, smashy, 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 and then it fights the thing, and he gets a couple good, and then it just basically kills it.
Yeah.
And then we got the Mandalorian fighting one as well, and then so basically we got the Mandalorian fighting one, and then Grogu rips out a part in its leg to stop it from beating the shit out of him.
Yeah.
And then he doesn't stop it. He doesn't break it or anything. He just takes one part out to just stop him from stepping on him.
And then it makes Grogu
he's like-
go flying because there's so much force.
Yeah. And then the Rancor turns up and just beats the shit out of it. But it gets hit a couple times. And you're like, no, not that random CGI monster that we care so much about because he bonded with it.
Yeah, bondage with Boba Fett.
Yeah. And then then we get the other one that went off and tried to kill all the townspeople, getting beaten the shit out of. And then guy who turned up at the beginning to have an interaction with Boba Fett turns up again and is like, hey, Rancor, go away, fire.
Cad Bane?
Cad Bane.
Yeah.
also has flamethrower wrists.
Yeah,
Every bounty hunter has flamethrower wrists. It just seems to be a standard weapon in the arsenal of a bounty hunter.
quite clearly.
Did the tin can robot spinny thing, the thing that was voiced by Taika Waititi in The Mandalorian, that has the head and has multiple arms and spins around?
The head.
The babysitter bounty hunter that was converted.
Yeah.
Yeah, that thing. Did that have flamethrowers?
I don't think
Because
so.
that didn't have. That should have had flamethrowers. That should have had. If that didn't have flamethrowers, that's a missed opportunity for that baby.
Do you know what?
Like, imagine
I completely forgot about that droid.
if that droid had a flamethrower, he could have heated up so much milk to be warm for baby Grogu. So much green and blue
Is
milk.
Grogu technically a baby?
He's a 50-year-old man,
Yeah.
but he's a baby in there. It's like a dog, Dan. It's like dog
It's an
years.
anti-dog.
It's whatever species
It's
Yoda
a
is because they've
parrot.
never conferred it. Yeah. Oh, then we get the fun moment where it's like, well, let's have a duel. I have a rifle and you have a pistol. So the one that's going to be quicker, lift up and
Yeah,
shoot.
it's like...
Luckily for me, I'm wearing indestructible armor and I'm just going to get shot a bunch. So it kind of takes the climacticness out of this.
Yeah, but he does get hit.
and then
yeah.
I forgot he was holding because I don't think he's wearing it until like a bit, but he's still got the stick from the Tuscans, and I was like, oh, he's just got that.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, he's gonna use that to kill him or beat the shit out of him at least.
Yeah.
Because I didn't notice it. I think he went and got it. I think he went to his cupboard and went, oh, what guns do I need? What weapons do I have? Oh, I have this fucking Tuscan Raider stick that my dead bros were like, and he mentioned my dead bros, so I'll bring this into the fight. Why not? It might come in handy. And so he brings it. Oh, fuck, everyone's dying, but do I have time to change? No. Anyway, so yeah, then he gets pinned to the ground, and then he's like, I'm gonna shoot you in the face. And he's like, he looks up and he's like, closes his eyes, and he's like, everyone thinks he's gonna accept his death. I thought Fennec was going to come and just shoot the guy in the face.
That's what I thought. But no.
That's what I was thinking. Or the Mandalorian or something.
She just
Just
disappears.
anticlimactic. Yeah. Well, no. We know what happens to her, Dan.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, but... Okay, we'll get into it.
Yeah, and then he turns as he shoots and then trips him and then whacks him with his bamfer stick.
And
And then...
stabs him in the heart.
Yeah.
And it's like, well,
And then
okay, thanks for that.
also he goes, I knew you were a killer.
Well,
yeah,
yes,
dude,
he's a bounty
been killing
hunter.
everyone. Yeah, he's been killing everyone. Because he's like, oh no, I'm not going to kill people. But he's just been killing a bunch of people this entire time. He used a rancor to kill people, dude.
Like, how many pikes
That
have he
line's
killed?
stupid. He's killed loads.
Yeah.
He killed all those speeder people because he thought
Yeah.
they killed his...
Honestly, it's the
Dude,
stupidest phrase thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, and then and then his hat falls off. And it's like, oh, dude, you're bald. No wonder you hate people. You're like Boba Fett.
He is.
I wanted Boba Fett to have a luscious head of hair. Why don't you have a luscious head of hair? Why do bounty hunters have no hair, dude?
Yeah. And then we go.
Mandalorian's got a fucking dish set of hair.
And then it cuts to Fennec Shan.
No, it
Does it
doesn't.
not?
No, it cuts to the Rancor on a rampage.
Oh,
Dan,
yeah, because for some reason
he's
just.
no longer being ridden.
Yeah, so he just wants to kill everyone now. For some
Yeah.
reason.
And then we get the two most annoying character team up in the show. The assistant and the random lady from the scrap shop. And she's like, oh, you look sexy as fuck. Come and bang me like I did a Jawa. And I'm just like, Rancor, just crush these fucking cunts,
Just go,
please.
Get him.
Just kill him.
Don't wanna see
Just
him
get him
anymore.
out of my life.
Go.
Like, I never thought I'd see these characters again. Why am I seeing these characters again? Why are these characters not dead? And then the Rancor Mandalorian tries to ride it, gets picked up, thrown, and then tried to be eaten, but he can't crack that helmet. That helmet that managed to withstand being smashed in the face by those droids, from the black ones, the black droid things, and it dented the wall, and now it can't be eaten by a thing. So what can break that helmet?
Nothing. It's Beskar.
Nothing. But then what dented Boba Fett's helmet?
Beskar.
Probably. Beskar spear. Beskar lightsaber. But yeah, then Grogu just makes it fall asleep.
Yep, okay, cool. Another anticlimactic battle done. Lovely.
Why didn't it force heal him like he did in the Mandalorian season 2, where they were like, oh shit, we need to reveal force healing before Rise of Skywalker comes out, so we'll put it in the episode that comes out just before the Rise of Skywalker, so people aren't as mad that we put force healing in. And Rey force heals a snake, and Grogu force heals the other guy, Carl Weathers, who isn't the Mandalorian, even though in the next the same episode, the Mandalorian is deeply injured and doesn't get force healed. And then that power is never used again.
Yeah, it's still not used, is it? Yeah, you're right.
And now we cut to Fennec Shan, Dan.
Yes, and Fennec Shan, start time, just kind of going around murdering all the houses and
Straight up
the mayor.
hangs the mayor.
That was brutal.
I was like, damn.
And then just
straight up just hangs him.
And then assassinates the Fat Mike syndicate leader. And then that's it.
Yeah. And then we get Boba Fett just walking around going, I fucking hate people bowing at me.
I was like, why did you decide to become a leader
Why
then?
did you become a person if you don't want people to love you and praise you? And then, yeah, we get this is the moment I was talking about. You get Boba Fett, Fennec, the Chewie guy, and the two modded people. And then the little robot thing with the ears. The rabbit fucker. For some fucking reason, it's there. Yeah, it's there. It's just there for some fucking reason. It's just next to Fennec and the Chewbacca, and then you have the Vespers in the background. Also, there's some more modded people, I'm just now realizing. And also, he throws a fruit at the Wookiee.
Yeah, so something signaling that maybe there's another season or whatever. Hopefully not.
I mean, I wouldn't be opposed if they actually make a Book of Boba Fett show.
They won't. I can guarantee
and then, in the final end credit, the only end credit.
Hang on. No, there's something before this.
Is there?
Yeah, where the Mando and Grogu.
The Mandalorian and Grogu.
And then Grogu just keeps knocking on the glass.
That I thought, and he's like, no, I'm not going to do it. And then he does it, and he puts it into hyperspeed.
And you see Grogu going, wah!
Yeah. Also, he's still holding the gear knob.
He loves that little ball. He loves it.
It's a gear knob, Dan.
It's still a ball.
He puts his little dick in it. That's how much he loves it.
Why? He's an innocent little kid that's 50 years old.
Yeah. And then in the end credit scene, it's Cobb Vanth in a Bacta tank, and Dreads with yellow dreads is here with his little knife. So Cobb Vanth is going to become a mod.
Yeah. So what do you think of the series?
I liked moments. I liked the 2 episodes that didn't have Boba Fett in it, but they're not a Boba Fett so I will not count them as actual reviews. So out of this show, I will give it the number of times Boba Fett gets beaten up. So about a 3.
3 out of 10?
Out of 10, yeah.
I give a bit.
Actually, how many times does he get beaten up?
I give it a 5 out of 10, I think.
He gets beaten up by the Tuskens. He gets beaten up by the Sarlacc. He gets beaten up by
Bounty hunters.
The mares. The weird red shielded people.
I'm pretty sure there's
he
a
gets
bounty
beaten up. No,
Not
they're
bounty-
some sort of
no,
organization.
assassins.
Yeah, they're assassins.
That's the one, yeah.
He gets beaten up by the Wookiee. He gets beaten up by Carl. He gets shot at and basically wounded by the Pikes. He technically gets beaten up by the Jawas because they steal his shit. He is injured and weak, but he does still get beaten up by the Jawa.
That is true.
Then he also gets beaten up by Cad. I reckon if the Mandalorian and him weren't on good terms, he'd get beaten the shit out of by him. If him and Fennec weren't on good terms, he'd get beaten the shit out by her. I reckon the mods would probably kill him if they had the chance.
In other terms,
oh yeah, we forgot to talk about the guy who wanted to stop water. That's the whole reason they joined him, because he promised them water, basically. Because the guy comes in and goes, look, these fuckers are disrupting my water supply and I want them gone. And then Boba's like, I haven't done my job. I'm going to go over there and tell them to fuck off. And then they're like, no, this dude's a cunt. He's trying to charge us for water. And Boba Fett's like, fuck, I should have done my job. I should have listened to people who aren't just dickheads who are trying to get me to do stuff. I'll hire these people.
Okay,
what
would you
give this show?
For Mandalorian season 3?
They're gonna find redhead lady who's a Mandalorian and go on an adventure where they slaughter her for the blood so that they can sacrifice it to the gods of Mandalore in those mines, and the Mandalorian will become the most powerful ruler ever and will turn to the dark side, and Grogu will be the most powerful dark side user ever. And then we'll get Mandalorian just fucking a goat. I don't know why. He's just gonna fuck a goat for some reason.
Okay, my theory is that they're going to try to set up a new Mandalore with Mando as Din Djarin as the leader. And I'm so sorry for everyone who just heard that. And Bo-Katan, and all of them decide to join. And then he leads with his helmet off. And he falls in love with the other lady. And they just rule Mandalore.
Oh, what, from season 1?
Yeah, and they rule Mandalore together. And then Grogu comes back in the next Star Wars film.
Fuck, that sounds terrible.
I'm telling you, Grogu's definitely coming back in the next Star Wars film.
Yeah. When is the next Star Wars film? Is in December 2024. Because
23, isn't it?
24, 23. Yeah, 23. Yeah, because this year's Avatar. Oh boy, I keep forgetting about Avatar. Avatar 2. Yeah, so it's Avatar 2, then Star Wars, then Avatar 3, then Star Wars, then Avatar.
Shut up!
4.
You've mentioned it so many times. Stop it!
Because it pisses me off how much Star Wars and Avatar get fucking play. But yeah, overall, it was fine. It was just kind of weird what they chose to tell as a Boba Fett story. They should have just maybe continued the Mandalorian season 3 and just gone, hey, look, here.
Anyway, that is our review.
Yes. What did you give it?
I give it 3 Gokus.
Out of?
Grogu.
How many Mandalorians?
I give it 3 Gokus out of 5 Skywalkers.
Oh, weird CGI Skywalkers.
Whatever that means, no one knows. And that is...
I'll give it 1 Boba Fett out of 5 Mandalorians, because that's how much the Mandalorian turns up in Boba Fett, and how much Boba Fett actually has anything to do in his own show.
Anyway,
So yeah,
thank you for listening.
Yeah,
Go back.
it's long. It's surprisingly long. I didn't think we'd have that much to say on this shit show.
Yes.
But hey, look, if you enjoyed this, check out some of our other reviews. If you want to message us, you can yell at us for getting Star Wars things wrong at tfepod@gmail.com. You can find all of our other links to other shit in the link tree that I set up. That's it. I'm not going to give you the links to everything. They're all in a link tree. Go find them. If you want me to add stuff, let me know. I'm not going to do anything.
We'll see you next week.
Yes. Bye.